You know, they have rules. I try to stay away from rules. The only time I've ever sat down with a guy who opened for me was Bob Levy. I asked him not to eat blue cheese dressing out of a drunk chick's ass every night.
Was that really a bit?
To open.
A bit. He closed with it, and he would go, but it kills. I'm like, Bob, I understand it kills, but you got to understand, I got to go up and do an hour afterwards, and it's like it is following sexual assault. The woman, or in some states, a rape, because following a rape, basically, the woman is drunk off her ass, no pun intended, completely drunk. And not thinking clearly. And in that state, you get her to come on stage, and she's eager to be a star or whatever, even though she looks like me and Levy. And you put blue cheese down her ass and lick her asshole. That's sexual assault. It's physically touching. It's she's not in the right state of mind because all the chicks are fucked up. And he goes, it kills. I'm like, Bob, I understand it kills. But now I'm on stage. A couple times I slipped on the blue cheese.
Yeah.
And I'm not that graceful. Like I pulled a hamstring doing a dick joke.
Pulled a hammy on some blue cheese.
You know how pathetic it is to say I pulled a hamstring because I did a dick joke. I step on a blue cheese. I sometimes in the Stern days I'd bring that Yucko the Clown guy with me, and he would bring a black dildo on stage. So I'd follow him and Levy, and there were times I slipped on blue cheese and fell onto a black dildo.
To open, that's what I mean. Like they're supposed to be
open. Yeah, they got to setting
the table for you, and there's ass.
Right, but so that's the only time. That's the only time I said something. But some headliners have ridiculous rules where they're just proving they have power.
I have a question. How do you set up the blue cheese ass eating? This is just really astonishing to me.
You don't
got a new closer.
You crowbarred it.
Not
pulls it out of his pocket. Look what I found up here on stage.
You browbeat a woman. You go, come on, get on stage. You're hot. Get on stage. You browbeat a chick who's got a blood alcohol level of 6.8. You browbeat her into getting on stage, and every single time he got it done. Every single time, every single show, he found the chick, and I said, well, he probably won't find the chick every night. Yeah. Every night he found the chick. So to the point where I had booked a tour with him where I had 10 gigs in a row on the road. Shitty gigs, too. We played diners. But, Bob always got you great cash. I love Bob. But still, every night he found a broad, and I had to follow that every night. Colin Quinn, at my roast, when they roasted me at the Stern Show, Levy was the MC, and Bob, Colin, like he does with so many situations, had the perfect joke about that. He said, Levy, for 20 years you've been closing your act by licking blue cheese dressing out of a strange girl's asshole on stage, and you're still not famous.
Jesus Christ.
That just nails it.
Yeah, with all the YouTube stuff, you would think if you was any threat to be famous at all, that would be all over the place.
That's the one.
If you want to be famous in comedy, commit a rape on stage.
Jesus Christ.
Did you ever have the
I mean, if a chick got a lawyer, sexual assault is not. I mean, a lot of lawyers would take that case.
Oh,
sexual assault. He committed sexual assault every show because the woman was almost always drunk, and if she woke up mad, you could claim that she wasn't thinking straight, and you could be arrested. And I said, Bob, do you think about that? He goes, it fucking kills. I never go to an opener and say, as you know, I don't say change your act. I don't say this, don't say that. But with Bob, I had to pull him aside and go, you can't do that anymore.
Did you ever ask him to clean up the blue cheese off the floor?
Well, there's no time. He does the same act, and so I know I'm going up. When he does, I don't know what the punchline is, but the setup has the phrase, there's cheese doodles on your balls. When I hear that, I know I'm going up.
You know you're going up. So he doesn't rotate opener like closers?
What would he do? No, not really. No.
Anything to do with cheese, blue cheese, cheese doodles.
Yeah, it's a very lactose tolerant act. Well, then what happens is, so then I had this other prop comic who was filthy, who used to work for the Stern Show, Yucko the Clown. He had a black dildo in his act.
That was his prop?
Yeah, and I had to follow him and Levy, and I swear to God, I got to do an hour. Within the first minute, I slipped on the blue cheese. and my knee hit the black dildo. Like went down and hit the black dildo, and
they left the props on stage.
Yeah, this lazy fucks.
This explains. Is this all in your book? Now I'm upset I didn't read more.
Well, what do you mean all in my book? Of course. I mean, I'm spinning a couple of yarns here. Number 1 on the New York Times bestsellers list. You already think that's actually a rare thing. Thank you. But my knee hit the black dildo, and there was blue cheese underneath the black dildo, and some of it squirted, like it almost looked like a black cock was coming into the front of the table. Killing too hard. You do try to be respectful. Some people totally forget that. Again, the Reverend Bob Levy, a great comedian, but he was opening for me. He's not used to opening for people because I was on Stern. He opened for me, and not only did he say "cunt" 5,000 times, his closer used to be calling a drunk chick out of the audience, pouring blue cheese dressing in her asshole and eating it out. So not only am I following a guy who's being filthy with the language, I'm following sexual assault. I'm following the girl's drunk, so technically she could press charges. I'm following a form of rape. We have to have a conversation about the opening. I don't mean to be uptight. I know. I'm not a stickler. I know. I heard Paul Reiser says, "Listen, don't say damn, say darn."
Diplomatic Artie.
Right. I'm not that guy. I'm not Paul Reiser. I don't have $500 million for me about you. And blah blah blah. I'm not Sinatra saying work clean, kid. You work blue. I don't like you. I like you working blue. Work clean. I'm not that guy. Here's what I would like to suggest. Bob, I would like you not to commit a Class A felony right before I go on stage. I can't believe that every night, and I can attest to this, every night Bob found a girl to do this. I would say that you'll never find the girl every night. You'll see, watch.
And he buries his face in there, right? Like he goes in, doesn't he?
It's sexual assault. It's a Class A felony. And who wants to eat after that? The restaurant with so one guy was famous for his blue cheese dressing. Not anymore. Not anymore, buddy. God. Guess what it's famous for now? I said, Bob, what if she's not sanitary? What if she's got remnants of, what if there's shit in her asshole?
Oh, he doesn't care.
Look, it kills.
You just want to kill and move up. So I was never one that don't talk about that.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to do that to the guys.
I've only done that one time. I've only talked to an opener one time about changing one thing in his act, and I think you're going to understand this. I had to ask Bob Levy to stop committing sexual assault as his closer right before I went on stage. Bob, of course, used to call a girl out of the audience, and some of you people under 25 are going to be appalled by this. You might call your congressman. Then again, the only people listening under 25 are my cousins, so and I don't think they listen. I had to loan my cousins the money to get this podcast. So yeah, Bob used to, of course, call a young lady out on stage, usually drunk, which meant it was probably sexual assault, because she might not have remembered this. Always pretty, right? Will you test? Usually pretty. Bob, a charmer, would hypnotize them with his black hair dye and get them on stage and pour blue cheese dressing, usually, unless they were watching their diet, blue cheese dressing in their ass crack and lick it out of their asshole and ass crack. And that was his closer. And then I would go on stage. Now, one time I followed him and Yucko the Clown. So one time at Zany's in Vernon Hills, Illinois, I slipped on blue cheese and fell into a black dildo.
I was at that show. I was on that show.
Yes, of course, Yucko. So I said, Bob, listen, I have to tell you this. I would never do this. Please, you can't do the blue cheese thing anymore. I have to dig out of a hole. Yeah, but it kills. I know it kills, Bob. That's not the point. The point is we're committing rape.